got here? Are you about 3 large footsteps away from the grave? Need to kill time before you go kathunk in a casket? Might I suggest learning to talk about video games? What else would I do at my funeral? If it wasn't for talking about video games, I'd be happy. It takes a lot of no shame to do, so tell me, are you gonna learn how to talk about video games? Or are you gonna have integrity? Ugh. Look at this. This is your life now. The first step to talking about video games is not playing video games, and I cannot stress that enough. Why be a video game player when you can make silly comments about them? It's the same sentiment I have towards the working class. So, put the controller down and repeat after me. This game is f***ing bullshit!
Game bullshit.
Video games are art and have been one of the leading ways for artists to express themselves in recent memory. Discussing them is completely warranted, but if you're worried about losing the listener's attention during, make sure to spice things up by making funny random noises. While discussing said video game, don't be afraid to not talk about video games while talking about video games for roughly 5 to 10 minutes while you act out some kind of a skit. Make sure it isn't funny. Some people call this a waste of time. I call it a filibuster. You gotta have your arch nemesis game, one you just can't escape from. Sure, you could just not play it, but then what would I have to do tomorrow? Hey, it's been a while since that random noise. Still there?
Stand in front of your game collection to announce your resignation from society.
It's a good thing to yell a lot. People won't take you seriously if you aren't screaming. I call this the Thanksgiving dinner approach. Now, it's really important to act like you're better than the game you're talking about. This can be achieved with a few, "Who made this?" and "What is this game?" But if you don't know what to say, you can always just start acting awkward and give yourself a double chin. So on to the next one, which is the one after that one. And the next one is the stuff. It's the one. Swearing. Yes! Swearing is a genetic staple of the video game player. You truly play video games if you can say f*** about them. And if you aren't willing to say f*** uncensored, get the f*** out of here.
Duly noted.
You have to have an opinion on every game. The right opinion. You have to play every game too, and like every game, except for the bad ones! If you mess up one of these, play it off as a joke. Maybe make a funny quip about it and shake some yellow text around you to prove you're serious about being funny. Funny moment! And you can't just talk about video games, you gotta be funny, especially if you're not funny. That way you can deflect criticisms by stating you shouldn't be taken seriously. If you need to be seen playing video games, hold the controller as close to your chin as possible and frown. Can you tell the controller's not even plugged in?
Are you better than the person listening? No, but you have more Wii U games than them, so always remind them of that.
React accordingly to anything happening on screen, i.e. scream. And when you start talking games with people, make sure to not see them there. Oh hi, I didn't see you there.
You have to do your research and get everything right about Mega Man 4. If you don't, well, you look like an idiot. If someone pays you to talk about a video game, don't act like you already had integrity.
Maybe you could gather various like-minded people together and pose a threat. Like, watch yourself, or I'll start a podcast.
Feel free to really express some emotions here. You're talking about video games, for God's sake. I'd cry too if I were talking about Mario Party.
If you're having a hard time crafting your own things to say about these games, never count out plagiarism. It's a myth anyways. The alphabet's not copyrighted, f***o.
Of course, everybody has their own opinion, and that's the way it should be. There's never going to be a right or wrong one to have on a video game, and if someone disagrees with you, you can always call them a f*** over email.
And that just about covers what you need to know to talk about video games. You truly have what it takes to waste your time.
Of course, you need to know when to stop talking, so might I suggest a poignant stinger to end things before you get all blue? So grab a dictionary and find a random string of words that you think would work well together. I own more Wii U games than you. Wow, it's like fate.
We shouldn't have taped over that.
Morning. Correct. Welcome to the fun side of my brain, filled with an urge to collect video games and an obscene amount of Nintendo knowledge. I call it my wild side, doctors call it a tumor. I just like consistency, knowing these things will always be here, organized alphabetically. This is my thing, thank you. It used to be abstinence, but this works more. Everybody should get into this kind of stuff. We'd all have the same hobby. That way it'll be even more confusing why nobody would talk to me. Many consider this a waste of time, so that I say, well, so is living. Things could be worse. Sure, stupid Nintendo games may be my only true hobby, but at least I'm not politically aware. I mean, there is no true end in sight here. I did the math, and there are a lot of stupid Nintendo games. There's no excuse now. Everybody should have no life. Over 15,000 games to try to discuss and later shelve. The consistency alphabetically, and player's choice can go to hell. The size and shape of discs and cards, for an hour or so I'll talk. I'd swipe right on them till both my thumbs are stems, cause every day's Fat Tuesday in my eyes. This world doesn't get my passion. They all think we play motions a sin, but it's their loss, for they got no spare time to waste. This is something I know we should all embrace. I'm on a quest to address all the requests. Please understand this kind of stuff is virginetic cachet. We have been blessed, no time to rest. I've got a lot to undress. You don't need sex, this is better anyways. It's stupid Nintendo games. It may be hard to find a place to start, so might I suggest? Not that. Might I suggest a Geist to start things out, then moving on to Pack and Roll, Lost in Blue and Tetris 2, or whatever's left at Kohl's. Nigel Mansell plus Clubhouse Games, name a better pair to taste. If you said Madden 09 and Skin, get the fuck out of my face. Tell me that you understand.
As a vegan, this fits my diet plan.
They make for great target practice.
As long as I'm not having sex.
You didn't tell me all these was fucking gex.
I shouldn't dwell. I've got no sex to sell. Take them all and distribute them, and you're spreading we play. It's a swell, these extra copies, extra ban you from hell. I've got a fling smash to play every single day. Stupid Nintendo games. I might be slightly obsessed. How could I not be? Have you seen these? I've got no shame to blame. If you're down and feeling blue when life drops in around you, there's a solution for all that pollution to in your brain. Stupid Nintendo games. Who wants to compare pens? This is my one true love. Never finding a mate. Look at all these things. The NES games. Oh man, Super Mario Bros. 2 is such a funny wet fart of a game. Why did it have to say Mario Madness on the cover? It almost looks like it's supposed to be the subtitle of the game, like Super Mario Bros. 2.
Tell me something I don't know.
Mario Madness.
Take it.
River City Ransom I bought on the Wii Shop channel because I heard somebody say it was an 80s equivalent to Grand Theft Auto, and man, I wanted a game like that so bad. Oh man, it's just like Grand Theft Auto. The characters have skin. I like this game because it taught me proper money management, and we all know that's stuck. I bought Donkey Kong Jr. Math. How do we know that?
They're gonna break my legs.
It was an investment. A fun investment. Oh, yeah, how fun is that 10 grand surgery you just had? Let me spend 200 in peace. You've gotta hand it to Nintendo. All the Donkey Kong Jr. fans are off the street now. Why do coke when you can do math? You know, the NES is well known for all the horrible licensed games, but I gotta admit, Back to the Future could be worse. Don't get me wrong, it's bad and barely follows the movie, but I don't think it's as terrible as something like Ghostbusters or Where's Waldo. Look, my copy has a flick wound. I mean, that says it all right there. Last owner must have hated it. Man, f this game. Oh, damn it. Where is Waldo? Kung Fu Heroes! It's been too long. I used to play this at my grandma's house all the time. Like once, I played it once. Pinball is a fucking lie, and I'm tired of acting like it isn't. This isn't pinball, but when you actually play the game, this is pinball. You snakes! The reproduction Nintendo World Championships and Campus Challenge cartridges. Always a joy to have these as a part of my estate. Do I care these reproductions are not the real deal? Well, no, I bought these to officially play them on an actual system. Plus, if I owned the originals, I think I would quit my job just to care for them.
How do I tell them I quit?
The NES is such a wonderful pantry of simple fun and dog shit games. I love this system, though. Why does the controller have to be this way? Why can't the buttons be slightly angled? You know how your thumb is? And when they redesigned the controller, they made the button placement worse! I woke up and my thumbs were like this one day. I was so fucking happy I could use this controller. Even though these official Nintendo created NES controllers have a button layout that can definitely wear on the thumb, I still love this system. But hey, what about the Super Nintendo? Everybody needs to have a few Super Nintendo games. You're running out of excuses not to. You know, we've already had 2 World Wars, might as well have clock while you're at it. I've got one Tetris Attack for you. This one's Tetris Attack. Easily one of my top favorite Super Nintendo games, and it isn't even real. They took this Japanese puzzle game with dear god anything but reptiles. When bringing it over here, they gave it a reskin with all kinds of Yoshi's Island characters, and while we're at it, Yoshi's Island! What a thing! The Super Nintendo has one of the greatest lineups of 2D platformers, but that won't stop me from considering Family Feud to be one of my favorite games on the system. What makes the
Soap moist.
Name something kids use.
Tonsils.
Name something parents save from a first baby to use for a second.
Food.
Name something that's often located in the basement of the house.
The basement.
Name something people start but never finish.
Me. War. Books of Faith.
Doom's ass red cartridge. You know, the color of ass.
Right?
Oh my god, this version's so bad! It's impressive they got it on the Super Nintendo in general, but it's just not powerful enough for a game like this. Wolfenstein 3D works better, but it's heavily censored, which is kind of bizarre. Like, would you really be that surprised playing a game called Wolfenstein 3D?
Hitler?
At least Doom has the colored cartridge, like Killer Instinct. This is a fun way to annoy me. Super Punch-Out's weird. Like, the NES game is the most famous. It's one of my favorites on that console, but who the hell talks about the Super Nintendo one? Nothing wrong with it, it's just the controls and sound effects don't feel as good as the original on NES. To anybody who disagrees, I'll see you in court.
Crucifixion's a bit harsh.
Donkey Kong Country 3, the one I just can't own. I've never legally owned this game. If you don't believe me, look through my tax records. See no donkey. I did beat the original Donkey Kong Country. Great game. I did it with the rewind feature on the SNES Online app on Nintendo Switch. Do I deserve to have hands? Nah, I only felt the need to use it when this part came up, where differently colored ropes do differently colored things. I looked at my excuses for the day and considered this to be a rewind warranting event. The Super Nintendo is such a cozy corner of gaming. Games were still simple at their core back then, but they had so much more depth now. A game like Super Mario World is pretty much in line with the Mario games on NES, but this one just goes so much deeper than that. It has a map screen that eventually tells you to go f yourself. A Link to the Past is a full realization of what the original Legend of Zelda on NES was doing. Super Metroid is the same, Super Castlevania 4, Mega Man X, Kirby Superstar. This is where many of gaming's greatest franchises of all time, to tons of fans, peaked. It doesn't get much better than this. But you ever wonder what the hell is up with these boxes? What is this design? It makes no sense! You know what'll get people to want Super Nintendo games?
Geometry.
And the fact these boxes are cardboard, please. I mean, it was excusable on the NES. Here, it's damn near inexcusable. The Nintendo 64 is a solid rebound. If by solid, you mean painful. Good thing I only see in 5 frames a second. Nah, it's a great system. It just isn't as slam dunkish as the other ones. Like, it obviously has its downsides. It doesn't age that well, for one. This generation of gaming as a whole doesn't really. Like, you consistently still see new games come out mimicking 8 and 16-bit style graphics. Nobody would be caught dead trying to resurrect this. At least we got Mario Party 1 out of it all, the greatest party game ever told. In reality, it may be a repetitive, unpolished go at the franchise that only started to get bad after it got good 9 entries in, but in my heart, it is the quickest lobotomy I've ever had. Super Smash Brothers. Look at that real cartridge. This ain't no holographic trick. If it was, could I do this? See, it's real. The start to one of the most fun gaming franchises to discuss, whether you're into the competitive scene or just like talking how different noses look between games. Smash Brothers just kind of brings everybody together, and the original Nintendo 64, while incredibly simple, still holds up to some extent. Mario Kart 64. Many consider it to be the greatest kart racer of all time. I consider it to be that game where Yoshi looks weird. 20 bones to whoever can tell me what this is. The new Tetris. Well, yeah, because this shit was old. Glover! Can you believe I have a room for a game I never played?
What do you mean, yes?
Yoshi's Story is this bizarre take on a Yoshi's Island successor. It's still pretty good, but it's so similar yet so different from any other Yoshi game. You gotta eat fruit. You don't just get to the end of the level, just do what my dietitian said and eat 30 fruit. So we gotta just find 30 pieces of fruit and then we move on to the next level. It's kind of an interesting direction. Hopefully the next Yoshi game does something just as unique. The same thing are good. My go-to game on this console will forever be Super Mario 64. Oh wow, Scott, next you're gonna tell us your Lung's favorite food is air. I can't help it, my body knows what it likes. The Nintendo 64 is a console I've learned to love, though it's far from my favorite. That's definitely because of these damn cartridges. Nintendo, come on, no end labels? I need to know if this is Glover or not. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. There's something about that original Game Boy that's just so endearing. Like, guys, the first handheld game console, because who wants to admit the Microvision exists? I mean, this thing is perfection with a Tetris cartridge in it.
but I have the new Tetris now, you. Alleyway is a fun one. It launched with the system and is a direct clone of Breakout. But I think to this date, Nintendo avoids the question, they refuse to admit it. It's one of those older Nintendo titles where they threw Mario in it for no reason. See that stick?
That's Mario.
Well, now we gotta play it. These early Game Boy games are so cute. They're so simple, but they know what they are, and they don't try to bite off more than they can chew. That is a definite problem with a few titles for the handheld. They would just try to take some NES or SNES game and shrink it down and expect it to work. Donkey Kong Land. It's Donkey Kong Country on the go.
You know, I just discovered I could take a shit on the go. All I have to do is shit my pants.
Even some of the best games on here, like Link's Awakening and Super Mario Land 2, I mean, they are struggling with the limitations of the Game Boy at times. And yet, these are still such treasured products to me. Sometimes it's nice to go back to a time where this was all that was available in terms of handheld on-the-go gaming. You couldn't play The Witcher 3 at only 540p portably. You had to settle. And with all these limitations, developers still delivered well-designed and fun games. And Tetris is what it is because of the Game Boy. Pokemon came out at what was supposed to be the end of the Game Boy's life, and yeah, that's something you don't want to do on your deathbed. Release Pokemon. Interesting concept. You collect and battle creatures. Let's try it out.
There, I tried Pokemon. You happy?
But I mean, Nintendo knew the Game Boy was starting to show its age. That's why we got the Game Boy Color, the full successor to the original Game Boy. Full successor, I swear to Christ.
We grow closer to my death every time I say that.
How could it not be? So many sources group Game Boy and Game Boy Color together. Bullshit gaming journalists who don't know anything. People like Nintendo. Listen, I get it, but the Game Boy Color had too many exclusive games for me to not consider it a full-fledged successor. I'll admit it's just a technical upgrade to the original Game Boy. When I finish the Minish Cap, I adore the old school Game Boy experience, but it is far from perfect. Guess why? Now the Game Boy Advance, that's where things start to pick up. I bet this game looks pretty fun. The GBA was like a portable Super Nintendo, but that's kind of all it is to me. I feel like so much of this handheld's identity revolved around games for other consoles. Oh my god, Super Mario World is here! And A Link to the Past! And Kirby! And Metroid, and Donkey Kong. I mean, it was a dream come true to be able to play these classic games on the go in all their glory, but what does the Game Boy Advance have to call its own? It's Mr. Pants? To be fair, there's quite a few games on this little guy, including Mario vs. Donkey Kong, a follow-up to Donkey Kong on the original Game Boy. This game was the best. It's like you'd expect it to just be Donkey Kong from the arcades on the go. In reality, it scares the f*** out of me.
Well, that's the end of Donkey Kong.
It keeps going after the original arcade game ends and is this meaty puzzle platformer. It's amazing. Plus it has this exclusive border on Super Game Boy for the Super Nintendo. And now I can play my Game Boy games on the big screen in a house while I'm right next to a ceiling. God works. The Super Game Boy is pretty rad. It has all these settings you can tweak. You can change the border, make your own border for all I care. But it can play Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance games. For that you'll need the Super Game Boy 2, only released in Japan. Look, it's clear like a Game Boy Color cartridge. It's color. Like the Game Boy Color. It shows a Game Boy Color on the box. It released around the Game Boy Color's release. The Super Game Boy 2 must play Game Boy Color.
It doesn't, does it?
Looks like we have to move up a generation or two to the GameCube with the Game Boy Player. Alright, so this is a bit more of a mess. Instead of a regular cartridge, we gotta screw this on the bottom, plus pop the startup disc in. The last thing the Game Boy Player arc of my life needed was a startup disc. Well, when we get in there, I mean, it's playing the Game Boy games, and Color, and Advance as well. However, this thing reeks of anti-personality. Compared to the Super Game Boy, I was worried that thing was gonna f*** my wife. Look at how cool it is! Here, this is just the most convenient means of playing the entire Game Boy line. I'm too bored to yawn. But it's still a lifesaver of a device, and all more reason why the GameCube reigns supreme. My favorite console. Many would assume it's the Wii or Wii U. They didn't have Odama. Nintendo was firing at all cylinders on this console. Pretty much every one of their franchises got major installments here. Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Smash Bros., F-Zero, Star Fox, Animal Crossing, Fire Emblem, Wario, Wave Race, 1080, Pikmin, Paper Mario, Mario Kart, Party, Golf, Tennis, Baseball, Strikers, Odama? Geist is funny. Nintendo published a first-person shooter about ghosts. I was hoping they'd follow it up with an RPG about bees. Luigi's Mansion is such an interesting game. Like, you explore this haunted mansion and finish the game 3 hours later. I'd say the following games in the series took the general gameplay of Luigi with Vacuum and ran with it more. But they will never live up to the amount of ambiance this original game has. You can just feel how haunted this place is. It's such a fun experience. Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix, because I only do what Mario tells me to.
Why not?
It sure is Dance Dance Revolution, and this is the only DDR game on the GameCube, and that's weird. Out of all platforms to put that game on during this generation, just the PS2 and Xbox. not the system with customers willing to buy stupid plastic bullshit for it. The GameCube microphone, used for Mario Party 6, Odama, and eviction notices. The DK bongos, different game, same story. See, the GameCube still did a lot of that weird Nintendo bullshit, but it also had a normal controller and amazing games. You got the best of both worlds. Of course, looking at it critically though, the third-party support was definitely one of its weaker elements. It was definitely better than something like the Nintendo 64, but most third-party games were for the kids. Sure, we got our Resident Evils and Sonic the Hedgehogs, Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, Super Monkey Ball, Beyond Good and Evil, Tales of Symphonia, but the other consoles had Grand Theft Auto 3. Also, I love this controller, but why is the D-pad so small? Why is the C-stick so tiny? Why only one Z button? Why the region locking? I can't easily play Japanese games on my console. I know that's a thing on multiple systems, but I just want to play Nintendo Puzzle Collection in peace. I have to use an action replay disc to even kind of play it, and bam, beautiful. This is one of my only cheat devices. I can use it to not play Mario Sunshine. I also have Dream Mix TV World Fighters, a Smash Bros. Clone featuring Bomberman and Simon Belmont and Optimus Prime. It's just missing Master Higgins. I also have The Legend of the Quiz Tournament of Champions, a trivia game published by Nintendo. You can play as Jeff Foxworthy. You gotta appreciate and despise these Japanese game boxes. They're cute and cool, but the outer sleeve is so easily losable and damageable. But that's about all I can say. I can only really go on for about 45 more minutes. There are only a few things in this world I could talk about for over 23 minutes. At least the Wii had the purest white game boxes known to man, a smoker's mortal enemy. God, I mean, the GameCube may be my favorite system, but the Wii is just so interesting. It had exactly what people wanted and none of what they wanted. Like, come on, games for your stupid fucking uncle like Wii Fit and Calvin Tucker? But then for the core audiences, you got Zelda, Metroid, Donkey Kong, Mario, Sin and Punishment? A sequel to a Japan-only cult classic shooter on the Nintendo 64? Who would have expected that? GoldenEye 007 on Wii is one of my favorites, a reimagining of the Nintendo 64 classic. A lot of diehards don't like this one because it's basically just Call of Duty, but some bundles came with the Golden Classic Controller Pro. The original didn't do that. Super Mario Galaxy is my favorite game of all time, thank you very much. The pinnacle of Space Mario. It's just such a magical feeling playing this game, even over a decade later, and I'm sure by the time it's 20 and I'm battling some kind of fun new disease, it'll still be. But the Wii was when anybody over the age of 40 started throwing a tantrum over using motion controls. I don't know, this ball segment of Mario Galaxy always gets brought up, and I never thought it was that bad. It'll come back to me in 17 years, I'll be bald and hate it. Even the casual experiences on Wii I love. Wii Sports, Play, Fit, Trauma. Big Brain Academy Wii Degree is an awesome multiplayer game. Smarty Pants is still one of my favorite generic trivia games. Family Feud Decades? Name one of baseball's great all-time sluggers.
Only baseball team I know, Harlem Globetrotters.
Is your answer there?
Name a song made famous by Elvis Presley.
Eek, it's Elvis.
Name a game that all the kids in the neighborhood can play together.
Polyamory?
As much as I love the system, again, it's not perfect. Whenever a game asks me to shake the nunchuck, man, like, this thing was not meant as a shaking device. It has the weight of an empty pencil cup. The amount of shovelware I actually kind of like. Sure, these things may be filling a landfill somewhere, but I'm sure I can find some use for them someday. Let's not forget the Wii had such classics as Vince Young starring in Madden 08.
Every story has a Christ figure.
And then followed up by the most disappointing sequel to Christ I've ever seen, Brett Favre starring in Madden 09. Go f*** yourself. And Jesus Christ, games on this console can be hideous. This was the dropping off point for developers who kinda cared. They either did or they didn't on the Wii. There's no in between. The same can sort of be said about the Nintendo DS. Like, we were either playing one of the greatest games of all time or Chrono Trigger. The DS, man, so many stupid fucking things came out here, but it has one of the best libraries as well. Though on the Nintendo first party side of things, it was a little weak. But under classic books, come on, I want to read, not count. DS games look so chunky now, whether they're 3D or 2D, they just all look so DS. Well, let's not forget the touchscreen. Everybody lost their stylus, but I never did. Doesn't even matter, you can use anything on this screen. Fingers, car keys. Using the stylus for PictoChat or for Mario 64 DS if I was trying to find new ways to embarrass myself. The Nintendo DS browser. I bought this before knowing what a Wi-Fi connection was. I will never get those $30 back. The DS is great, but I do feel like it has aged a bit more than other handhelds. It's in this weird purgatory of just powerful enough to do 3D graphics, but barely. But then even the 2D stuff doesn't look the hottest. Most of the problems with the DS were rectified with the Nintendo 3DS. However, it had an opposite problem. DS had great third-party support, iffy first-party. 3DS had amazing first-party support, but then barely any of the third parties cared. Ubisoft, Activision, EA, they all tried for like 1 year and then just gave up. But it didn't matter because we got Christ, Metroid Prime Federation Force, Mario Party the Top 100, Triforce Heroes, Mario Sports Superstars, Pokemon Rumble Blast, Yoshi's New Island, Paper Mario Sticker Star, hey,
Pikmin? There's the Nintendo Switch, guys. Oh my god, isn't Super Mario and R so quirky and unique? Nintendo, who's running your eShop now? Oh great, a controller for rats. Bravely Default too. Is that a sentence? Demon Ex Machina. This is still medically the only game with a 60 or above on Metacritic to have given me pink eye. Paper Mario the Origami King. F it. Oh, but we skipped over an important console here. The Sega Master System. It's so charmingly pathetic. What the f is this? Who asked for this? Why do I have to look between the TV and gamepad to change system settings? Nintendo TV, f you. Yeah, why not publish Devil's Third Nintendo? The Wii U microphone exists. There's a goddamn mic on the gamepad. Why are these two cases black? Why is this one cream colored? Why does this one not have the blue ridge? Why remake Wii Sports? Why swap between controllers so much? Why in Super Mario 3D World's multiplayer does this big blue border appear? Everything Nintendo's done, I have something to bitch about! Why is this wet? Why does this repel virginity? And again, in Mario 3D World, why in multiplayer does this big blue border appear? I get that it's supposed to tell you that the players are too far apart, but it comes out of nowhere. It sometimes doesn't leave, and it's just always there, mocking me, just like every shape I've ever met. Where does this blue border get off? Wait. That feels like... Go away! I hate shapes! Is this how it's always been? It's me.
I know a lot of me.
Thanks for having me on such short notice.
We offer express checkouts for a reason.
I just really needed to talk to somebody with a PhD.
I don't have a PhD. They forgot the U.
You have FUD?
I have FUD.
Listen, man, I feel like I'm going crazy here.
Yeah, I remember my first time.
I can't sleep. I haven't eaten in days.
Oh God! Here, have this.
Blueberry?
Maybe this is linked to something. Firstly, sign this confirming your consent to my research.
Yeah, sure. That's just words.
Consent is the highest form of flattery.
I thought it was constipation.
Okay, so are you financially unstable?
No, I've never paid taxes. You save a lot of money doing that.
Are you depressed?
It is affecting my happiness.
I can prescribe you liquor.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
As your therapist, I'll give you the same answer I give all my patients. No.
Okay, well, everything I see, there's this blue border around it all.
That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard, and I've had patients that murder.
Seeing a border is more absurd than murderers.
They make great arguments.
I just don't know what it is. I recently noticed it, and looking back, I feel like it's been obscuring my vision for as long as I can remember. What if there's something down there I can't see that it's blocking?
Oh, it's just carpet. And it is looking pretty good today. I wish you could see it.
See, you gotta help me! My sanity's at stake here!
No, somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Fine. You're right. It's probably not a big deal. This month has probably just been really hard on me.
Don't whine. We've all been through April.
Hey, because I talk about stupid Nintendo games so much. That's all I do. Maybe I'm overdosing.
Might I suggest a new hobby? I recommend a book to discover new things to get into. Stupid bullshit for dummies.
I don't know what else I'm good at. What about you? Do you have any talents?
I have a foot fetish.
Really?
Not yet. I'm trying to branch out of therapism. It'd be more interesting for my epitaph.
So you'd be willing to do an experiment?
As somebody with a foot fetish would say, yeah! Nice bed. Are those pillows real?
Yeah.
So, call me crazy here, but I think I'm in the head.
Maybe my other patients can help you. My murder clients can turn you on to some new hobbies.
No, I want you to knock me out.
Oh, come on. I'm a therapist, not a doctor.
Please, just analyze my brain when I'm out of it. We gotta figure out what's going on here.
With what? That CAT scanner in the corner over there?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm not doing it. You never walked over there to get me a box.
Fine, here's a flashlight to look in my ear. Go wild.
Huh, well, you're in good hands. I'm quite knowledgeable on head.
Hey, what did you get on your SAT?
Oh, a lot.
Oh, well, that's good. I feel safe with it.
Holy shit, I do have a head.
Holy shit, he does have a head.
So this is what a brain looks like. It looks fine. Hey, Jerry!
1 sec, I'm making sure I don't get confused here.
Oh man, all my memories! That's when I saw a white guy. That's when I was a white guy. My favorite water! When I was horny, when I met anime, when all my friends died. Take me back.
I have a blue border around them.
You found a blue border? Kick its ass!
I can't do that. I can never compete with a shape. They always win. Remember that gun that shot me? Shape.
I know how you feel. My dad's killer was a shape.
I just don't get it. Like, why is it here? Why has this border always been a part of my life? Why can't I escape it? Why doesn't anybody else see it?
Maybe you need to relax. How about a nice pillow to the face?
That's killing me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe a gun to your head will take your mind off things.
I appreciate the help, but I think I'm just gonna wake up, go to the desk, and whine about... a rink. What was that?
Words!
No. I think the border just got bigger.
That's impossible! It would require you to not be brain dead, and your pulse stopped 30 seconds ago.
Well, resuscitate me!
I didn't hear a please.
Oh my god, I want to get out of here! I just want to talk about stupid Nintendo games! Oldie 3s? Geist?
Maybe a cold washcloth will revitalize you. Nope, it's not wet enough.
It starts off the same for every week and ends with a game on PS3. Pick something right out of the drawer and hold it up against the floor. Spew some junk about no sex, then a vegan comes just to say gex. At the desk look like a hoarder, surrounded by some big blue border. I just want to break the mold to not follow a path. But every week my life involves mentioning barrel blast. It's closing in. My screen is all burned in. It's closing in. I always have that stupid grin. It's closing in. And just like my virginity, I'm worried this 1080p outlines here for infinity. I'm on the board. Does my whole life need a giant watermark? I truly really never noticed something so stark. Why is it this? These are some deep questions, and this is getting too philosophical for me. To lay it on the line, it's closing in on me. Always been this way? It's closing in. Not sure if that's okay. It's closing in. Constantly from day to day. To lay it on the line, it's closing in on.
I gotta remember this for next time.
When I heard you were in the hospital, I dropped everything and came straight here.
Shh! There's a library across the street.
Hey, how's our pre-corpse doing?
Oh man, I've been trying to get this place for years.
I called 911, I asked them how you were doing.
Oh, I have some questions for them. What's her Snapchat?
They blocked me.
No! After a mental breakdown like that, you need to do something productive. Like join the army.
Is that why you're in the hospital?
No, I stubbed my toe afterwards, plus I had a coupon that was expiring.
He said some square existed. A blue square at that!
Blue square.
Guys, I swear, there's a big blue border on everything I see and do, and I think it gets bigger the more I give into my primal urges. Watch. Ah! You see?
Man, you know, I've never met somebody who's fucking stupid before.
Okay, can I please talk to each of you separately?
Yeah. No.
Derry, how's cheese pissing you off today?
Pretty good. I'm seething.
Does it ever become too much? I mean, vegan all day?
I always got my vegan and creme jet, and he's my not eggs to dear God, anything but bacon.
But I mean, that's just another license to renew every month. Don't you ever just want to mix things up and gut a fucking duck?
No, I'm pretty content being miserable.
Do you do anything other than be vegan?
Well, I don't eat fruit for fun.
But you're vegan.
Yeah, my other passion is malnutrition.
Target employee. How's it not working at Big Lots?
Red!
Do you ever get tired of working there and having a dead brother?
If it wasn't for my dead brother, I would have never replaced him in your group. Having a dead brother is great. You should try it sometime.
Jeb, vegan.
Oh, I don't know about that. I want out.
What are you talking about, you went out? You're a vegan, not married.
I don't know, I tried a corn dog and realized part of it wasn't vegan. The batter had milk.
What are you gonna do without veganism? And what about Terry? What's he gonna say?
I don't know, I don't want to hurt his feelings. He's top vegan in the county, you know? He gave up drinking water because cows drink it too. I can't do this. I have dreams, you know?
Like what?
I like Gex.
You mean this?
No, the lizard.
Rex, you hate sex.
More than most hate not sex.
Guys, don't you see? You may not have a blue border around you, but you have the equivalent in the form of crippling restrictive tropes.
I prefer the term silly running gags.
And why do you even care? The border's not harming anyone.
It just matters to me. It's been a part of my life this whole time, and I just want to feel normal. Is this still a part of my therapy session?
The meter's still running.
You know what? I'm out of here. I got no milk to drink.
Save some no milk for me.
Yeah, Target does need an employee.
And every chastity needs a moderator.
Does anybody else see?
Squares can be blue!
Where are the signs? Centimeters being obstructed. Centimeters!
I'm boned.
I'm not.
We've got to alert the officials! So, welcome to being f***ed.
So that's what it feels like.
I hope you guys accomplish your homework of dismantling your personalities.
I've gone cold turkey, no meat. Just need a few patches to get through the day.
Yeah, I bought a gun. For murder.
Jeb, we keep this up, the blue border will vanish. We can go back to our specialized diet.
Terry, what do you think about lizards?
Yeah, they're great for looking, not for eating.
No, like as a hobby.
What do you need hobbies for? You're a vegan, not a man.
I'm on a job hunt. I heard Wendy's was lacking Target employees working there.
I decided to stop being your therapist and start being a therapist.
I eat zinc now.
Did you not before?
Well, taking vitamin supplements seemed like a great way to get my mind off not having sex. And zinc just suits me.
You know you can only take 40 milligrams a day.
How much is that in pounds?
Okay, well I spent all last night with my games.
You, 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 you.
This personality change should be enough to mitigate the blue border for us. For now.
For now?
But I had something to do down there and I can't see with the border in the way.
Guys, this isn't just a problem that'll affect us. I read Square's A Cautionary Tale.
You read the whole thing?
I'm up to bread, but it says that blue borders ain't something that can just go away. It's like a black hole. The worse it gets for us, the more it'll start to affect others. I think we nailed its origin of appearing due to excessive rut being inning, but that's all we got. If we don't do something about this soon, it'll not only consume us, but everybody. Humanity is hell-bent on repeating itself, and if we don't warn people soon, things could get bad.
I know the Amber Alert guy.
I've been wanting a spotlight from him.
Rex, I got something planned for you and I.
Oh, I've heard of something like that. It's called an event, right?
Everybody else, just spread the word as much as possible. The more people know, the quicker we can find a solution. Get on your feet and let's do this.
I've seen Wendy's employees stand. This will be great practice.
We're not crazy, you're just We're not crazy, you're just We're not crazy, you're just
Alright, here's the plan.
Say no more.
I booked us an appointment with somebody that owns a curtain.
How do you find these people?
I just thought people took things with curtains more seriously. Look at showers.
Ugh, not this plan again. I'm not gonna a shower.
No, turns out the curtain owner hosts a talk show.
Those demographics overlap?
Barely, but if we go on this show, we'll reach all cable TV users.
So nobody.
Hey, that's more nobody than yesterday.
What's this talk show about?
I was hoping blue borders, but no, I had to lie to get us on.
Hi, I'm Hector and Friends. That's not the name of the show, that's just my name, damn it, and welcome back to Throats for Thought, where we get to chat with throat users from all over the world and county. Our 15th guests today have throats. Let's get them out here.
You don't know if you have a throat?
Forget I never took anatomy. Remember, if things aren't going our way and we need attention, when in doubt,
vomit.
No, just lie and say it's your birthday. That'll get us a sympathy vote.
It is my birthday.
Okay, I just got a cease and desist from the other 9 groups handing out papers with this exact slogan.
It is a popular time of year to get f***ed.
Well, maybe we can get our attention some other way. Like with sex appeal?
But we're already
Hey Hector, it's great to be on this show with the throat. Ever since I've gotten one, this has been a short-term goal of mine.
Oh, who's this?
Oh, he's my aide.
Swallow.
Thanks.
Well, when I heard your story, I knew you had to be on the show. So, you have a throat?
Does he ever?
I won best throat at the state fair.
I won biggest.
Ever since I was 18, I was told my throat was my best feature.
Okay. Been notarized?
What?
I mean, any official throat user's been notarized.
Hey, if anybody has a throat here, it's Scott. I can tell you how many times I've been around this man and I had to be, damn man, stop using your throat!
Listen, Hector, heck. May I call you Hell?
May I call you
I may not have my throat documents on hand. Would you settle for dental?
There's a big blue border that's gonna eat you.
Get off my show.
No, we have to stop the blue border. It actively annoys everyone it affects. It has to end!
Oh my god. My aunt just died.
On my birthday?
Well, any publicity is good publicity.
You got that right.
This just in. A fight amongst 10 groups of end-of-the-world conspiracy theorists broke out today because apparently we can't all settle on a definitive end of the world.
Shapes? I don't trust them. Get the f*** away from me!
In other news, on a special edition of Throats for Thought, a throatless con man and his aide took over the show to inform everybody that a blue border will be overtaking the world. Police later confirmed that blue borders don't exist.
Alright, step 1 went better than I expected. It's getting us closer to step 2. Give up.
At least we did spread the word on multiple issues. Now people know about the blue border and think we're f***s.
I mean, we only started to see the border after you brought it up to us.
Huh.
This just in, reports that the state of Ohio experiencing a blue border obstructing their vision are increasing rapidly. Let's go to a reporter on the field.
I'm in a field. See, that's why I don't trust the news anymore. That's a yard.
I'm standing here because as a news reporter, you trust what I have to say outside more than inside. Various eye-havers are reporting a phenomena where a blue border is obstructing their view. Nobody knows why, but it seems that the entire state of Ohio is affected.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Other states would contact Ohio to help, but it seems that they would have to be convinced that Ohio is real first.
Oh my god, you know what this means? Not Michigan!
This thing is spreading. Like some kind of disease.
I'd argue the best diseases are contagious.
How are we gonna take on something that's not even tangible the size of Ohio?
Maine? Maybe. Ohio? I've tried. It's not possible.
Guys, we can't give up! This is important to me. People are starting to finally see what it's been like to be in my shoes this entire time!
They're bitching about Wario.
Where even is this blue border? I feel like it's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. I just can't escape it. Like the moon!
I think I know where to look.
Guys, we're going to space!
Though I left my passport at home.
How? We need 2, maybe 3 cars to hold us all.
I get space sick.
I just don't want to f***ing do it. Guys, come on! Does anybody know how to build a rocket?
I know of rockets.
We'll wing it.
The question is, what materials do I have enough of to make a rocket?
Come on, we gotta try. Target employee. If the blue border takes over, there won't be a Wendy's to get fired from if there's no world left.
There will always be a Denny's, though.
Terry, there won't be no cheese to eat if this continues. Jerry, there won't be me wasting money on your services. Rex, there won't be no sex to be had. Jeff, no everything except for Gex because anything but Gex is Gex.
That includes shallots.
If we're the only ones who can do this, we have to take this blue border out ourselves. We're the only one who can do this. Everybody else is busy. We've got nothing else to do today!
It's our time to prove our worth by saving the world, save this frameless earth. And when we do, we'll rub it in the faces of our government. How could you tax a hero's quest? Just take that IRS. We gotta save the world, we gotta save the day. I know you all don't have some plan, so hear me out as I sway. You don't want blue cataracts, wouldn't that be anti-swell? You got nothing else going on, so you all might as well. We can't give up, at least not yet. We gotta try, I can't lose this bet. We're the only ones capable of ending this blue fable, so we Let's install our big night. This so counts as a fight. Take your nearest hand, pop it on your closest head. Loyalty or no dignity, not both or you'll be dead. It's our duty to fight back after borders came to dwell. When else does this ever happen? So we all might as well. Might as well. Stand up and unite, our strength combined can take the fight. Because it's up to us, and with some luck we'll watch the border's demise. And if unaware before, prepare yourself, cause this is war. There's not much time before we incline. Forever borderline.
Sure.
Alright guys, we're going to space. Remember your coats.
I'll just pick one up on the way there.
Terry Lessler, you'll be our treasurer. Geriatrics HR, Jib Jab customer support representative, Rex Mo's moral support representative, target employee, catering.
Good thing I didn't pack clothes.
Yeah, I'd like to file a complaint.
Ready for liftoff, cramming good luck charm down pants, setting Tinder radius for 50 miles and beyond. Oh, this atmosphere!
Hello, please? Yeah. Yeah, I'm in space.
God, that's a lot of fucking space.
Yeah, space is a lot bigger up close.
Alright, looks like we have to take a left in about half a mile. Oh, I forgot to carry the 3.
Don't worry, I recognize this area. Just keep going straight.
Hey guys, so as a caterer here, I'm trying to figure out what to do. What would a Wendy's employee make?
Food.
Alright, back to the drawing board.
What was that? Something!
Oh, we got a leak here.
I f***ing hate circles!
Alright, listen. I'm your moral support rep, so this means a lot coming from me. We're f***ed.
Listen, if we die, please tell me. Was it hey y'all or hey all?
Hey guys, I made us Baconators.
That's a f***ing Whopper! Ugh!
Please f*** up more.
Oh, who shot us?
My money's on the working class.
No. It can't be! My mortal enemy! Cover athlete of Man in 09! Brett Favre!
Oh, Scott. You'll pay for this.
Favre! Why are you doing this?
First of all, it's none of your business.
For whatever reason, you despised Madden 09, so looks like I'll have to deal with you myself.
You can't kill us, it's illegal!
Hey, anything's fair game in space. And this round was planning to jaywalk.
Let's get the hell out of here!
We can't escape him!
He just called Cutter Sport, he's pissed.
Oh god. He's docking!
His troops are boarding the ship.
Holy shit. It's the Green Bay Packers.
Alright, Favre, we're ending this! Guys, I know we're trying to mitigate our tropes here, but we can't let it affect who we are. The only way we're gonna win here is by being the best us we can be.
There's one thing I hate more than the Green Bay Packers. It's sex.
Honestly, deep down, I've always felt like I've been a Wendy's employee.
Well, I've always been a vegan.
I haven't.
Is that a gun?
No.
It's Gex.
front of us when we weren't looking! Oh god, he's charging up!
We don't have enough resources to fire back. We have everything we need except for zinc.
I already ate zinc. I'm on a thallium now.
We need attention. Things aren't going our way.
Vomit. Hey, here's a nail.
That'll work. Guys, we have enough.
F it.
That's it. I'm tired of you Madden 08 fans.
I'm more of a Madden 09 guy, I swear! Thar, all we're doing is looking for the blue border. Just let us go and everybody will be fine.
And you think I have nothing to do with that. But you know what? I'm coming over to deal with you myself. What was that?
Who saved us? Vince Young! Vince, thank you!
Yes. Hey, Scott, no problem. Good luck out there. Thanks.
I'd like to not file a complaint.
Guys, I don't think we're gonna make it. We're almost out of gas.
What are we gonna do? Where are we gonna go?
Sunoco!
Guys, I don't think we have to go that far.
So that's what blue is.
The color.
I'm so happy we're all hanging out more.
I'm just happy home invasion's in now.
What are we looking for exactly?
Probably a square. Well, if any place is gonna give us answers, it's here.
Oh, sweet. Printer ink.
Oh, wow.
Look at this one, eh?
Wait, guys. Nobody would leave their printer ink out there just like that. It's a trap! No!
You dare acknowledge my existence? Threaten to remove me from your life?
It kept me busy.
I'm done only affecting you in your precious state. I'm ready to irritate the entire world.
Oh God, no!
There's nothing you can do now. I am now in everybody's life, not just yours.
Why did you only affect me to begin with?
You were weak. You wasted all your time talking about stupid Nintendo games.
I risked a lot doing that. Ever heard of spontaneous combustion?
You were a waste. I contacted Farm to take you out, but apparently I underestimated you.
But you took advantage of my group's love for printer ink!
Just because my first plan to eliminate you fell through doesn't mean I'm opposed to ruining your life even more so now. You were the perfect catalyst for my plan, to be a part of everybody's life. Burn the screen in everybody's eyes. There's no turning back now. I am all powerful. I am eternal life!
The opposite of eternal life is virginity!
It's weakening it.
I've been holding this one in for years.
It looks like it needs one more dose.
I've been saving this one. Madden 08 and Espanol for PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360!
I hate when this happens.
Can we eradicate it?
No.
I got raid.
If it just stays here, it might get bigger if we don't do something about it.
Maybe it needs a host.
What are you saying here?
I think it needs to live with somebody, or else it's just gonna keep getting bigger and bigger again.
I'll do it.
That goes against everything we've just done!
Guys, I've had to deal with this thing longer than anybody else. I know how to handle it at this point. It's never gonna leave, but I know how it works. I know how to just talk about stupid Nintendo games and not let it bother me. I would not wish this upon anybody else. I just hope people understand what I see all the time.
Deal.
we did it! Everything's back to normal.
Yeah, this blue border's not gonna leave anytime soon for me, but as long as I know how to handle it and not let it affect what I love, that's okay. Plus, who knows, it might shrink over time. I think it even did that a while back.
I think that deserves a letter of recommendation. Pop that on your resume. You're the only patient of mine that has saved the world from shapes.
If it wasn't for this whole thing, I would have never considered myself to be a fast food employee.
None of us did.
At least I can go back to having no means of crotch access.
That's good. I heard Jesus hates hand jobs.
Terry, I'm sorry. I don't think I could be a vegan anymore. I like Gex.
Well, you can't change who you are, but we could always use a volunteer vegan on the weekends.
Oh boy, now people know what I'm not.
You guys, thanks for helping me out. It means a lot.
I think everyone will understand this whole blue border thing you're dealing with.
Well, even if they don't, as long as I have what I truly care about, I don't give a piss.
We save the world from a blue border world. I just have to live with it for the whole rest of my days. It's a lot, but you've been taught this thing is worse than you thought. But there's one small thing that makes it all okay. Stupid
Bye.